And so we are live. Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mohini, your host for the evening today, and I welcome all of you on behalf of PSTV Live, guys. Yes, we are live another time with another episode, especially for all our young viewers, okay? And it's a new week, guys. It's Monday. We're just stepping into a great week, and I hope the weekend's been good for everybody. So come on quickly in the chat box. Just about tell me about any recent update on the weekend, how the weekend been, and what's happening in the week maybe. So how have all of you been doing, guys? Just a quick check-in with everybody. So quickly in the comment section, I'm waiting, everyone. Come on. Okay, I can see a few of you are typing in. All right, let's see. Okay, all right. A lot of you are giving me the high fives. A lot of you are saying it's been a fantastic weekend. It's been a festive weekend for quite a few of us here. Okay, all right. Definitely good to know that. Fabulous. Okay, amazing. Great, lovely, relaxing. Relaxing, that's the reason that I actually look forward to my weekends every single week. All right, and yeah, this one's truly been relaxing. It's been a good time with the family, and it's been a good weekend. Yes. All right, guys, thank you so much for those lovely responses, and just keep the energy going. We're just starting up, okay, and I need all of you to be active, to be energetic during the entire session. Okay. And like I always start, of course, you and I, we are on this journey. The journey is called Understanding the Art of Podcasting. Yes, every single day we just delve a little more into details. Into the sphere of podcasting, and we get to know so many amazing and fantastic details about the same field, guys. Yes. All right, so moving on, what's happening, what's on the block, what have I planned for all my lovely audience here? Well, of course, we have Break the Ice, and today I have something called Would You Rather. So you have like two options and you have to choose the correct option, guys. That's what Break the Ice is all about, okay? So I'll be giving you two options, and you have to tell me which option would you like to go ahead with, all right? Okay, so this is something on the lines of this and that we did last week. This is Would You Rather, okay? And of course, after that, we have today's agenda, which is like I mentioned in my last episode, that we are going to be taking the history based podcast. Yes, that is the theme for this week, guys. It is the history based podcast that we are doing. Okay, so of course, just to start with, I just thought that I should be sharing an amazing insight, an amazing experience. It's not my experience, but it's somebody who's done a history podcast. It's another author's experience, and there's so much to learn from that experience. And I thought, why not? Let's just share that experience today on the live session with all my students, because all of you here are obviously proceeding into or maybe thinking about just building up on a history podcast, and nothing better than getting a first-hand experience from somebody who's actually done it, who's actually conducted a history podcast, right? And that's the reason that I went ahead and put this forward for this session today, wherein I will be sharing the experience of another author who has a lot of things that you should know probably before you start your history podcast. Okay. And of course, after that, we have a fun activity, and just to break the monotony, like we always do, because Planet Spark and fun always go hand in hand, guys. Yes. Okay. And can I hear it for Planet Spark? Everybody in the chat box, guys, come on, any of your favorite emojis for Planet Spark, anything. Lovely. So I'm getting the hearts, I'm getting the eyes with the hearts. Lovely, guys. It's so nice to see all these emojis. I'm also getting the fire emojis, I'm also getting the love emojis. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all this love and appreciation. All right. So, of course, we have the fun activity, and after that, after the break, we will be continuing with the pointers that I'll be sharing, which I mentioned is an experience of another author regarding the history based podcast. All right. And moving forward, we have another fun activity today, okay, which is fun activity number two, basically, for all of you, okay? So stay tuned, everybody. Don't go anywhere, okay? And of course, when we reach the end of the session, we will be doing a quick recap of all the learnings or whatever we've discussed in today's session. And before I sign out, there is going to be time for fun things for homework, like we always do, right, guys? Okay, and let's just take the plunge and dive right into um, okay, not maybe break the ice yet. I'm so sorry. This was another new, aspect that I thought that let's just start with something like quote of the day today, and this is like a surprise element for all my viewers right here because I think it's beautiful to start a day or a session or anything. Start something good. Start something that's going to be fruitful with a lovely quote. Okay. And of course, today, because it's the history theme podcast, so of course, our quote here also deals with history. It talks about history. And the quote here says that there is a history in all men's life, isn't it? Okay. And this quote is by the brilliant William Shakespeare. There is history in everybody's lives. Okay. We all know that. Okay. We have something or the other that we, their memories, their history. There's so much in all of our lives. And I think that's the reason that history is something that really appeals to everybody. Yes, okay. It takes you off to another world altogether. And history, like they say, is actually a story in a way. Okay. And it depends on who is telling it. Okay. So history is more like a story. And now it's up to all my lovely podcasters here, all my podcasters in the making here to actually say that story with a lot of effect. Okay, say it effectively and say it in a way that your audiences can they actually want to come back to your podcast and listen to your podcast, guys. Yes, okay. And that's the reason that history theme based podcasts, these podcasts are not live. It's not something that's very easy to do. But if you are an ardent fan of history, if you love history, okay, then this is something that you can definitely go ahead with. Okay, there's a lot of scope for these kind of podcasts, and that's what we are going to be discussing in the session today. All right, guys. So moving on, of course, the break the ice. So come on. The question number one is: would you rather live in a tree house or an igloo? So come on, tell me what's your choice. Would you rather live in a tree house or an igloo? For me, it would definitely be a tree house. Okay, because I am not very fond of cold places. So definitely for me, a tree house, guys. Definitely something that I'd go ahead with. Come on, tell me your options. So I can see a lot of you are typing in. All right, I'm waiting, guys. Send me your responses. I can see that there is. Ah, okay, wow. So there are a number of you who want to go and stay in an igloo, and you say that's going to be adventurous. Yes, okay. Jacob is saying it's going to be adventurous. All right, I'm sure it will be. A few of you are also saying tree house, but the majority of you here, I think, want to go ahead and stay in an igloo, basically. Yeah, is it? Lovely, guys. Okay. So moving on to the next one. Would you rather ride a flying car or ride a unicorn? So tell me. Come on, ride a flying car or ride a unicorn. What's your take, guys? What's your option? What's your choice? Come on. For me, it would be ride a unicorn. I'm fascinated by unicorns, and I know a lot of the kids are fascinated by unicorns. Okay, and so am I. So come on, tell me. Okay, I can see a lot of flying cars zooming into my chat box right away. Okay, there are a few unicorns here and there also, and I see more of unicorns popping into my screen and flying, riding in. Okay, so yeah, I think it's more like a mixed bag response that I can see here. Some of you are telling me that you want to ride a unicorn, some of you are actually saying that you want to ride a flying car. Either way, guys, great choices. All right, moving on. Be a wizard or a superhero? So, would you rather be a wizard or a superhero? I think I'd be a superhero, like a superwoman, maybe. Yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so I get the laughs out there. Yes, definitely. So, come on, tell me, be a wizard or a superhero, guys? What would you be? Okay, 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 all right. So I'm getting a lot of wizards. Yes, I know my Harry Potter fans are always there somehow. Okay, all right. Okay, there's some superheroes also. Wow. Somebody's actually saying Iron Man. Okay, Leo is saying he wants to become Iron Man, superhero. The Spider Man also. Sahil. Okay, lovely, guys. Thank you for those responses. Moving on. Would you rather be able to stop time or go back in time? So come on, tell me. Would you rather be able to stop time or go back in time? Well, I don't think I'd like to stop time personally. Okay, time stops. I don't know what to do, but definitely I think I'd like to go back in time and explore history because history is my personal favorite too. Okay, and that's what we are talking about today, right? We are talking about the history theme podcast, everybody. Okay, so maybe I'd like to go back in time. Okay. What about you guys? So go back in time, back. A lot of you are saying back in time. Lovely guys. Okay. So a lot of you want to go back in time. And I think that's the reason that everybody out here is so enthusiastic about the history theme podcast. Is it? Yes. Can I hear it, guys, for the history theme podcast? Come on quickly in the chat box. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. So I see the thumbs up coming in. Lovely. Great. Moving on. Would you rather travel the world or explore space? So, what do you want to do? I would definitely travel the world. Okay, so I am like a big time traveler at heart, and I miss my travel days badly. Okay, during the pandemic, I've really missed out on my travel days, and I think I would travel the world for sure. What about you guys? Come on, quickly send in me your responses. What do you want to do? Okay, so I see a lot of travel the world, a few explore the space. Wow, a number of you also want to explore space, is it? Lovely. Okay, and travel the world. Okay, so yeah, I see majority of you are saying explore spaces, and there's some of you also say travel the world. Lovely, lovely, everybody. All right, and thank you so much for all that active participation and being so responsive during Break the Ice, guys. Just keep that coming. Just keep those responses flowing in, everybody. Okay. So now to today's agenda. Okay, so what is today's agenda? What are we discussing in today's episode? And of course, like I mentioned, it is history podcasting. Okay, history theme podcasting. That's what we are talking about in today's episode, everybody. All right. So I'm going to share an author's experience, like I mentioned at the start of the episode of history podcasting with everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about an author's experience as far as history podcasting is concerned. Okay, and the author here has mentioned about 5 things that you should know before you start a history podcast. Okay, and uh, and we're going to be discussing these things one at a time. Okay, and the first one out here is that it takes up a lot of time. Yes, guys, it does take up a lot of time, and yes, I mean not it's not something that I'd say that is easy, and it's something I mentioned this earlier also during the start of the session, that history podcast needs a lot of effort and it needs a lot of time. Okay, and trust me, the author says that according to the author, there aren't enough hours in the day. Okay, and something is always fascinated this author that whenever he talks to other podcasters is how long does it take to release a new episode. Okay, and this is because in his case he says that the entire act of actually researching, note taking, typing up the script, recording the script, editing the audio, okay, uploading the episodes, setting in place the promotion tools and everything else beyond takes all in all anywhere between 10 to 20 hours. Okay, and plus it's more to do with the research. Okay, because it's a history based podcast. All right, so it has taken a lot of time at the end of the author. Okay, so overall also, if you ask history podcasters, they will give you the same feedback. Okay, history podcasting actually takes up a lot of your time, But again, it also depends on your style as a podcaster. All right. If you remember, guys, that initially we've done about the various styles, the various podcast formats that you can actually go ahead with. You can do a solo show. You can do like an interview with somebody. You can have a guest on your show. Okay, all these different styles, and of course, the amount of time that this particular podcasting takes up definitely depends upon your style as a podcaster. Okay, if you are ready to share the load, okay, and if you want to share the expertise or even share the microphone, okay, it all depends on how you want to go ahead with. I've also mentioned this earlier that there are times that you might feel a little overwhelmed with the amount of time that these things are taking in to put that podcast into place. Please try and outsource things that you feel that you can. Okay, all right. Ask for help. Okay, and of course, if you want to go solo, okay, you can expect the pros and cons to once again be present for sure, because a solo show comes with its own pros and cons. And as far as a solo podcasting show is concerned, you are the captain of the ship. Okay, so everything depends on you. You are the one who's rolling, the entire show. Okay, but again, he believes that it does take a lot of time. Most history podcasters do follow solo formats also, surprisingly. But I think the reason why they follow the solo format is that I think they're more confident when it's about talking about facts and delivering it to the audiences. Okay, all right. And that's what they say, that you should go ahead on a solo format if you really enjoy history, and trust me, you will not regret it, everybody. All right, so the first things first is, before going ahead for a history podcast, please be prepared for the fact that it is going to take up a lot of your time. Okay, only if you have that kind of time for research, that kind of zeal in you to put forward that effort, if you're more to say, if you're passionate about history, then you should go ahead with that kind of a podcast. All right. Okay. Moving on, guys, to the next one that we have here. You should, you have to be willing to share. Okay. You should share what you do with those that you love, and you should learn to rely on them as well. Okay. So while we have established that nobody wants to be stuck in a corner, listening to a particular podcast while you rant and rave about your history podcast, there is a certain value in including people close to you when things begin to really, gather pace. Okay, and when you really feel that you need some kind of advice, you need some kind of help, I've mentioned this, ask for help. Okay, and by including the people, you show that history podcasting is not some activity that you're doing just for the smarter gangs. And usually audiences might feel that, okay, how will I relate to a history podcast? Okay, it's accessible and it's a rewarding hobby. Okay, and all opinions, guys, are valuable as far as a history podcast is concerned. Okay, so over the last 5 years, the author here, who's been mentioning this article, he's actually learned to ask for help in history podcasting. Okay, and help from your friends, your families, your relatives for anything, any specific area. He mentions that he's asked his dad if he's seen any useful books in his travels, and generally, he does get these useful books for the author, and that works out for him as far as his podcasting is concerned. So you never know when and where help might be available. So might as well ask for it. Why not? Okay. All right. So moving on, guys. Okay, so now we're done with 2 points, and we have a fun activity for everybody. Yes, okay. So is everyone excited? Can I see like a thumbs up or anything that just tells me, or just type in excited, everybody. Come on, in the chat box quickly. Anything that just tells me that you are excited for the fun activity. All right, so I'm getting a lot of thumbs up. I'm getting excited. Okay, excited. Lovely, guys. Thank you so much. Moving on to the fun activity, well, the history trivia questions, because it's a history theme based podcast. So we have history trivia questions, everybody. Okay, so brace yourselves and all ears here. I want everybody to participate and answer these questions. Okay, these are really simple questions related to history, and I want you to participate and answer all of them. Okay, So, guys, let's just get started. Yes, the first question. In which country are the ancient pyramids located? I'll go one more time with this one. In which country are the ancient pyramids located, everybody? Come on, quickly tell me your thoughts on this one. The answer, it's an easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah? It's very easy, this one. So quickly tell me your answers. Okay. So I can see my chat box is flooded with the correct answers. Yes, guys, and all of you are correct. It is Egypt. Yes, that is the correct answer. Well done, everybody. Okay, moving on to the next question now. So, who was the first American president, guys? Come on, tell me, who was the first American president? So a lot of you are thinking, because I can't see any answers as of now, but I can definitely see that a few of you are typing in. So let's see. Okay, the first one that comes in is Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln. These are the two responses. There's George Washington who's there. Okay, there's James Madison who's there. George Washington again. There's Abraham Lincoln again there. All right, there's John Adams again there. John Adams, all right. George Washington again. Okay, all right. All right. So, more or less, these are the answers that I'm receiving, and I think I should give it out to everybody. Well, the correct answer for this one is George Washington, and I think a few of you did get that correct. Good one, guys. Good thinking. So, now, time for the next question, next trivia question. Who wrote the play Hamlet? It's a very popular play. Do you know who's written it? Come on, quickly, guys. Who wrote the play Hamlet? Okay, so the first response that I get here is a question mark. Okay, really. So, Leo is thinking hard, probably. He's thinking aloud. Okay, I get Oscar Wilde there. All right, I get William Shakespeare. I'm again getting Oscar Wilde. I'm getting Arthur Miller. Also there, Arthur Miller. William Shakespeare again. Okay, lovely. So I think I should give it out to all of you. Well, the correct answer for this one is William Shakespeare. Okay, it is William Shakespeare, guys. All right. Okay. Moving on to the next question that we have here. Where did the ancient Olympic Games originate, guys? So, where did the ancient Olympic Games originate? Oh my god. As soon as I said this, I think I barely finished reading and I've got like 2 to 3 answers that have popped up on my screen. Okay, and I think everybody here has probably seen my sessions in the sports podcast, because the Olympics was something that we really discussed in details at the time when I was taking up a sports podcast. And I'm so glad if that has helped you in remembering this fact. Then I've got the correct answer right here. Okay, and yes, everybody, in fact, most of you are, almost everybody is actually correct. It is Greece, guys. It is Greece. Okay, so moving on to the next one that I have for all of you here. Which is the smallest ocean in the world? So come on, tell me, which is the smallest ocean in the world? Any guesses, guys? So I can see Atlantic out here. I can see, okay, Atlantic again. There's some of you who say Arctic also, and some of you are saying Atlantic. Okay, then there's Indian Ocean. Then there's Pacific. No, Pacific is not the correct answer. Pacific is actually the largest ocean in the world. Okay, it's not the smallest ocean in the world. So come on, tell me, which is the smallest one, guys? Okay, Arctic. Okay, so majority of you are saying the Arctic. So let's see. Yes, it is the Arctic Ocean. All right, and congratulations. A lot of you got that correct. Good thinking, everybody. One more time. And now moving to the next question. Which was the first country to use paper money? So think of it. Which was like the first country that used paper money, guys? Any guesses? Any thoughts on this one? Okay, so I can see India there, I can see China there, I can see Japan there, I can see Europe, I can see the United States. All right, India again, Europe, okay. UK is also there. All right, okay, a lot of the guesses, but I think only a few of you have got this correct, okay, and I'll give it out to all of you right here. Well, the correct response to this one is China, guys. Yes, that is the correct answer. All right, so now moving on to the next one that I have for you here. Who was the writer of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland? So come on, I think everybody should give me the right answer for this one. We've discussed this one. So who was the writer of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, everyone? Come on, quickly. All right, okay, okay. So I'm so glad that I've got the correct answers. A lot of you are giving me the correct answers. A few of you are also typing in. So I'll just give a second to everybody who's typing in. And yes, 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 I get the correct responses. And yes, it is Lewis Carroll, everybody. Okay. And we've discussed this during our fantasy based podcast, haven't we? Yes? Can I get a yes in the chat box, everyone? Yes, yes, yes. Lovely. Okay. So moving on. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? So come on, tell me who painted the ceiling, guys. It is a very famous artist. That's a hint for everybody. So come on, tell me. Okay, I think a lot of you are thinking because I'm getting question marks. I'm also getting the think emoji there. Some of you are seeing Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, Van Gogh. Also, some of you are saying Michelangelo also. So there's like a mix of these three responses that I'm getting on my screen, guys. Okay, and I think I should give this out to all of you. Well, it is Michelangelo. Okay, all right. And yes, congratulations to those who got it correct. And for those who did not, please don't lose heart. Today we have a few more to go. Okay, all right. So the next one. Nobel Peace Prize is named after. So, who's the Nobel Peace Prize named after? Who is it named after? Come on, quickly. Any guesses? Wow, you guys know this? I'm shocked, okay? I didn't expect the answers to be popping up so soon, okay? So, really, really quick, guys. Quick thinking, good thinking. Okay, all right, all right. And I think I should give it out to all of you. Yes, it is Alfred Nobel. Okay, well done, everybody, on that one. Okay, and now the next one that I have here. What are the Wright brothers famous for? The Wright brothers, we all know them. Okay, and what are they popular for? What are they famous for? So come on, guys. Any guesses on this one? Telephone, no. I can say that's not correct, all right? So, yes, yes, I can see the correct answers, but I'm not reading it out for the other ones who are typing in. Let them think and type in their responses. Okay, and I think we have got quite a few of the responses, and yes, well, the correct one out here is inventing the aeroplane. Yes, precisely. Okay, that's why that's the reason that the Wright brothers are so famous for inventing the aeroplane. So, guys, that was the fun history trivia activity that I had for everybody, and I thoroughly enjoyed framing these questions and putting these questions forward to all my lovely viewers out here. Did you have a good time attempting to answer them? Come on, quickly type in yes if you did enjoy these history trivia questions, everybody. Quickly in the chat box. Come on. All right, so I can see a lot of yes, 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 yes. Lovely. So glad to be hearing that and so glad to be seeing so many yes, yes, yes on my screen, guys. Thank you. Okay, so moving on now, let us continue with the pointers that we were discussing, the author's point of view as to what all you need before you dive into that history podcast. Okay, so the third pointer out here is that do not fear technology. Okay, and overcoming the technological hurdles is honestly not that difficult. And we've discussed this as far as podcasting is concerned. Yes, uploading your podcast, creating your podcast, recording your podcast. We've done this time and now. And we all know that it's something that's fairly simple. It's not something that's very difficult. And it would definitely be a shame if a potentially brilliant history podcaster refrains from tackling his subject in the pod sphere, like we call it, because he feared the grapples with technology or the learning curves which were to come. Okay. And all history podcasts are not born equal. Yet all of them will make efforts to improve themselves as the time goes on. And why just history podcasts? I think all podcasts definitely do that. All podcasters, podcast makers also do that. We try and get better at whatever we are doing by every single day, don't we? Yes. So, precisely the same thing, that please do not fear technology, accept technology, okay, and go with the flow, okay. And every quality history podcast that is born is a victory for the realm of history podcasting. Trust me, because history podcasting is something that you'll find a lot of podcasts here and there, but people don't usually, that's not the first thought when that strikes them as soon as they think of the field of podcasting, okay, because it's not a very easy stream. But once you do choose it, once you zero in on this field, that you want to go ahead and podcast about history, you want to talk about history to your audiences, then trust me, it's all worth it. Okay, the journey is great. The journey is a journey full of learning and full of a lot of enjoyment as well. Okay, so moving on to the next point that we have here, money is not a problem. So of course we all know that it does not cost a lot, okay, and even if even make a bit of money on the side, you can do that with podcasting. We've discussed about the monetary element of podcasting also. So history podcasting will not make you broke, but it will require a bit of the initial investment that goes with other podcasts also. Okay, and most of us are, of course, fortunate to be living in today's age wherein we have a computer. But of course, if you are like a family PC, okay, or if you feel like you benefit from an upgrade as far as the technology of your laptops, your computers are concerned, then by all means, please go for it. Okay, and moving on, of course, paying for the microphone, the author had no real expenses. His audio software is free, which is Audacity, and nobody is charging him yet to use his own computer, because though of course you do need an internet connection, and I think most of us are blessed to be in the technological, in the digital age, like I call it, and so we all do have like a decent internet connection around us. Okay, so these are the only basic investments that are required as far as the history podcasting or any other podcasting for that matter is concerned, and I think we've taken this up earlier also. Okay, so moving on to the next point that we have here, you are going to love it, guys. Okay, and trust me, take my word for it, history podcasting is totally worth it. And so are you, all my special children out here, all my stars out here, all my podcasters in the making. All of you are special, and that's why this field is also special. The field of podcasting is special, and so is our theme, history podcasting. Okay, and part of the reason that this author in particular, who's put this article together, never really got bored is because his brain is always switched on to the history podcasting mode, and that's what happens when you're doing something that you're really passionate about. Okay, automatically your brain goes back to that mode, and you honestly, you just keep on thinking about it every now and then, most of the day, even if you're not actively doing some work on a particular session or a particular episode that you want to record. And you do your research, you keep reading about the content that you want to put forward in the episode, the book, the article, pick it up from any book or the article. Or once you build a listener base, you have a lot of fans who keep writing in, a lot of listeners who keep writing in, so of course you have to go and catch up with them, and you have to also promote your podcast on the social media. So it's more about history podcast all over for him, and that should be the case with you also. Okay, engross yourselves as much as you can in your podcasting journey, because it's only then, guys, that you're going to actually love it and enjoy it. Okay, and of course, when you start listening to a history podcast for the first time, and you have that feeling where you know that this is just the one that you'll want to come back to again. Okay, that's the feeling that the author loves to have. Okay, when your audiences, they know that this is the podcast for me. So that means that you have put in that kind of an effort. Okay, it is music to the ears as far to your audiences. Okay, you've created that music. You've been successful in creating that music and that magic for your audiences, and that's the reason that they keep coming back to your podcast every now and then. Okay, and isn't that a beautiful feeling? And I think, isn't that the reason that we all are on this journey of podcasting? Yes, And can we hear it for all, the podcasters all across the world who are just creating so much magic with their own, voices, guys. Quickly in the chat box, just like a show of hands for all the podcasters all across the world, everybody. All right, okay, lovely. So I get the claps, I'm getting the thumbs up, okay, I'm getting the high fives. Great, guys, great. So glad to see all this. All right, so we are done with this bit wherein we've discussed an insight about an author's insight as far as history podcasting is concerned. And of course, like I mentioned to you, that today there are two fun activities. So we are done with the first one, and now it's time for another fun activity, everybody. Okay, so let's see how this one goes. And it's picture puzzles. Another time for everybody out here. Okay, it is time for all our picture puzzles. So now, the first one. Look at the picture really carefully, everybody. Okay, and tell me, who is the boss here? Is it the first person? Is the second one? Or is it the third one? Any thoughts on this one? Quickly. Okay, so a lot of you are telling me the second one. A few of you are saying the first one, and a few of you are also saying the third one. Okay, so it's like a mixed bag response. And let me just, I think, show it to all of you what is the correct answer. And guys, the correct answer is that the blazer from the third man is on the boss's chair. So he is the boss, okay, all right. And have a look at the picture one more time. Yes, I can see that. I knew that was coming, so that's the reason I said this earlier. A few of you are typing in. Can we see the picture one more time? Yes, you can. Okay. So yes, if you can see the blazer right here, and that's the reason that number three, the guy, the man over here, number three is actually the boss. Okay. All right. So moving on to the next picture clue that I have for all of you. Tell me, what is wrong with this picture? Is there something wrong with this picture? What is wrong with this picture? Okay, so I'm getting question marks, I'm getting the think emojis. I can see a lot of you are thinking. Okay, look at the picture very carefully, guys. Let me give this out to you. Well, there is something wrong with the picture, and that's the reason that I put this forward. Okay, so come on, tell me quickly, what do you think is wrong with this picture? Okay, all right, all right, all right. And now I've gotten two correct responses as of now, and I think I should give this out. Okay, all right, good one, guys. Good thinking. Okay, and the correct answer is, well, they are playing basketball with a soccer ball. Yes, that is what went wrong in the picture. Okay, so let me just go back to the picture one more time so that it's clear to everybody. Well, you can see that they are, all of them out here are actually playing basketball with a soccer ball, if you can see that. Yes, yes. Okay, and guys, come on, quickly tell me in the chat box, did you have a good time with those picture puzzles that I got for you? Did you enjoy all these picture puzzles? Lovely, lovely. Okay, so I'm getting yes, 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 yes. Great. So most of you have had a good time, attempting these picture puzzles. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for being such an active audience. Okay, everybody's been responding so well, be it the history trivia questions or these picture puzzles. I've had such a fabulous response from everybody. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much, genuinely. All right. So now I think we are almost towards the end of the session for today. So let me do a quick recap of what we discussed during our session today. Well, we all know that we've just started a new theme as far as podcasting is concerned, and it is the history based podcast. And today, of course, what we discussed in today's session was things that you should know before starting your history podcast. Yes. So, all the things, all the pointers, I hope that it is clear to everybody. And please go back to the session and just have a look at all these pointers before you actually move forward with your history podcast. It is an author's viewpoint that I discussed, but it's something that is going to go a long way in helping all of you to build up on that history podcast. Yes. And now, before I sign off for today, of course, we have a homework for all of you. Okay. And the homework is that the reference link of the author's experience that we talked about today will be provided in the description box. It's right there if you can have a look. And you should check it out and go through that in detail, because these are just some glimpses that I've, put together for today's session regarding the author's point of view. So you can go on that link, click it, and just go through it for a better understanding and to understand history podcasting better, everybody. All right. And of course, before I end the session for today, I have to tell you what's next. And like we are doing the theme on history based podcast, yes, tomorrow it's time for us to study a few examples on history podcast, everybody. Okay. And that's what we will be taking forward in tomorrow's episode. So guys, thank you so much for your time, everybody. Okay, somebody is saying wait out here. I don't know why. Okay, because we almost reached the end of the session. Okay, so you have a doubt. Let me just clear the doubt. What is the doubt? Okay, and I'm just waiting for you to type in so that I can close the session after that. Okay, and there are like I mentioned, that in the next episode, guys, we will be discussing about a number of examples of history podcast, and that will definitely go a long way in you know sort of helping you to move forward in your journey of podcasting. Okay, and okay, so I have booked for so I believe that somebody out here, one of our viewers, has probably booked for a free trial with PlanetSpark. And ma'am, you will definitely be getting a call on behalf of PlanetSpark if you have booked for a trial session. There will be somebody from our team who will definitely be getting in touch with you for sure. Okay, I hope I have answered that doubt of yours. Thank you so much for joining in today, and being an active participant in our episode. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Take care. Bye bye.